Do not sleep. He don't play by no rules. Used to say, will your president be awake at 3 o'clock in the morning to answer the phone? If it rings, shit, yeah, our president is up. Our president is a vampire. That motherfucker sent 23 tweets at 12:30. What the fuck is you talking about? That motherfucker is on it. Trump don't give a fuck. Every time he wake up, he just sign another piece of paper. Wait till they see this when they wake the fuck up since they want to talk. We used to just being able to watch the news a little bit and then walk off. Not with Trump. Watching the news like it's the playoffs. Trump don't give a fuck. Trump don't follow nobody's rules. The president is supposed to be at the White House. Our president is wherever the fuck he wanna be.
I have to be honest, Cat Williams is right. Gangster comedian talking about things that a lot of people didn't even expect. I just think most people like Trump because he doesn't react like a politician.
The NCAA has complied immediately, by the way, that's good. But I understand Maine, is Maine here, the governor of Maine?
Oh shit, someone's coming.
Are you not going to comply with it?
I'm complying with state and federal laws.
Well, we are the federal law. Well, you better do it. You better do it because you're not going to get any federal funding at all if you don't. And by the way, your population, even though it's somewhat liberal, although I did very well there, your population doesn't want men playing in women's sports. So you better comply because otherwise you're not getting any federal funding.
See you in court.
Every state, good, I'll see you in court. I look forward to that. That should be a real easy one. And enjoy your life after governor because I don't think you'll be in elected politics.
Very direct. The guy was put there for a specific promise because the people voted for him. And now suddenly people are like, well, we're not gonna do that. It's state law. We can decide by ourselves. I'm like, what? When Biden was in power, no, federal government decides for everybody. And now suddenly you can say, well, now state laws is important. It's like, hey man, keep the same energy, no matter the president.
Enriquez with the California Department of Finance. So in the current year to cover undocumented individuals in Medi-Cal, we're spending $9.5 billion total funds.
So it's not the $6 billion that people continue to talk about in the media. It's $9.5 billion.
Was a Budget Act number. This is a revised number based on the governor's budget updated estimates. So of the $9.5 billion, $8.4 billion is general fund.
Right.
California Governor Newsom requests $40 billion from the federal government for Los Angeles fire recovery effort. California is strapped for cash because they have spent billions of dollars on illegal immigrants. The state of California is now paying $9.5 billion a year just for healthcare and illegal immigrants. Oh my god, I'm like, bruh. Good luck with that.
All I see Americans talking about these days is the price of eggs. So let's see what the price of eggs is in Playa del Carmen, Mexico. If you've never seen me before, my name's Meredith. I'm exploring life outside the United States. I'm a widowed mom spending 6 months in Playa del Carmen, Mexico with my 7-year-old son. I made it to the eggs. You're probably going to be pissed. You may want to scroll away. You're going to be real pissed, guys. Eggs on eggs on eggs on eggs. Okay, so for a dozen pasteurized eggs, that works out to $2 American. These ones right here, definitely some sort of organic eggs, and that's less than $3. And those are just the pasteurized eggs. Wait till you see the rest of the eggs. Most eggs in Mexico actually are shelf stable. They haven't been washed. This is a flat of 30 and it's 86 pesos. I'll do the exact conversion on the screen, but that's about $4 for 2.5 dozen eggs. So tell me, where are you from and what are your egg prices like this week?
Personally, I don't like overregulation because if it's done wrong, you're not gonna get rich. They do. Vengadilo, remember to subscribe.
Remember to subscribe? ¿Por qué?
Hi everyone, Kelly Leffler. It's my second day here at the SBA. I could not be more excited to be here, so I thought I'd take a walk. And what I found is that exactly what's been said is true. About 90% of our employees are working from home Well, that ends Monday with President Trump's order to return to work. It's a tremendous waste of taxpayer dollars to be paying for people and offices that are not showing up for work. So what we're going to do Monday morning, be back in the office, just like our small businesses that we serve every single day, that work for us 7 days a week. We're going to be here working for them.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, they're ordering people now, hey man, if you want to work for us, we're paying for a place so you can work.
I want to address the protesters for a moment, if I could. I think they were chanting, build the rail. It's been 17 years and $16 billion, and no rail has been built. So if you want to go protest somewhere, if you want to shout at someone, go to the governor's mansion. Go talk to Democrats in the legislature who have brought us this crappy project, right? So we've seen over the course of the last month what DOGE has exposed with regard to fraud, waste, and abuse. And we're done with it. And you know what? You're going to have people who love fraud, who love waste, who love trains to nowhere. But all of us up here, we do not love fraud, waste, and abuse. We are going to use the taxpayer money efficiently and effectively, and this is a boondoggle.
So that was the Transport Secretary Sean Duffy, I believe, and I just find it odd that people still want to support Gavin Newsom, knowingly that he's wasting money, promised you something over 70 years ago or something like that, and it still hasn't been built. And you don't care that they're still taking your money.
I don't want peace. I want problems, always.
It's just a wild analogy how you want to live like this as if it's the new normal. And the only reason you like him is because he supports the ideology that makes you feel good, while he has empty promises. And I like promises that are kept.
I'm super inspired.
She took time out of her already busy schedule to tell us about her vision for the department's future, one that includes a 3-year strategic plan to increase diversity.
People ask me, well, what number are you looking for? I say, I'm not looking for a number. It's never enough.
And now the mayor, Karen Bass, fired her. Where's the protest? Why is nobody angry that a chief LGBTQ has been fired?
Let me just say that, yes, as the mayor of the city, the buck stops with me. I am in charge. However, the person in charge of the fire department, as I mentioned before, whenever there was a fire emergency, a weather emergency, or a hint of a problem, I am contacted directly, and not just by Chief Crowley, but by any of the heads of the departments. As you know, we have over 40 departments. When I talked about it with the fire chief, what she said is that we have warnings of Santa Ana winds a lot, but predicting this, and you saw, from the city, from the county, that level of preparation really didn't happen. So it didn't reach that level to me to say something terrible could happen and maybe you shouldn't have gone on the trip.
Why didn't it
But to
happen?
me, I don't know. I mean, I think that that's one of the things we need to look at. So 2 investigations are taking place. One internal to the city, and that's the Fire Commission, because that's mandated by the city charter. So the commission will hire an outside entity to examine everything, the pre-deployment, why were firefighters sent home, all of that should have taken place that didn't. And then also the governor has contracted with the Fire Safety Research Institute, which is a national institute that investigated what happened in the fires in Maui. So everything that happened, including that, needs to be examined. But I will tell you that I felt absolutely terrible not being here for my city and not being here for my family.
They only get angry when specific people do it, but not their own.
The other thing that I put in the book that I recommended the boss to do hits on this. We need a 24/7 declassification office.
Yes.
Rolling papers out 24/7. And not just like
ticker
JFK and not just 9/11. You're talking to the guy that's read the whole 9/11 report and those 7 pages that people talk about. But I believe, as like the guy who is an intel guy who believes wholeheartedly in the classified system of information, I believe that it has been over-abused by these corrupt officials in government to hide the truth and enact more corrupt activities. So what I told the boss was like, I don't care what you call it, truth and reconciliation, whatever, come up with a better name. But every agency and department literally submits all of their documentation. And I believe you could get half out. Half. I still think the other half needs to remain classified. I'll always argue that it does serve a purpose. But like you're seeing in these documents in the Jack Smith case, they're just redacting stuff that they lied about, that they broke the law. I mean,
it's used to protect themselves.
And it's a public document in a federal court, which is a document for the people of the United States. And we can have you run that office. You can come in and just be like, hey, I want all the Saudi documents.
I'll gladly do that. I'd be so happy.
Yeah,
so Luke will be the press secretary for the Libertarian Party.
The declassifying
the
documenter.
Viceroy of declassification.
Absolutely, I like that.
There you go.
I'm in. You got. Where do I sign up?
Yeah, but I think that's how you earn the respect. Like you said, Donald Trump started talking about these things. Then we started putting these documents out there. And remember when I ran Russiagate, right? They came after me and said, if you put out the Nunes memo and you put this out that you wrote, our enemies and our allies are going to get murdered. No one died.
I think he made a reasonable point. Yes, certain things maybe we need to hide it because, hey, it can be quite sensitive. But the idea that certain people can use these ways to censor information of the federal court or whatever that we're supposed to be able to read as a citizen, but they don't want us to read it because they have something to hide. Yeah, I think we need to do a better job with that.
Said before, but I will say it again. If your biggest fear is that a man will be dressing up as a woman to enter the women's restroom, you are not afraid of trans women. You are afraid of men. I will let that sink in for a second.
Are you expecting a mic drop? You're saying exactly what the other people on the opposite side was saying. What they can't say because you told them that's not a man.
Don't get me wrong, ako sa kitabang Put the fire na mi blonde kush hash purple skunk criollo colombici jam jam turlo kita verdeta welcome